ABBA slipping through my fingers. Oh, this is the Visitors album. I believe the last song I heard from this album was The Visitors, which I really like that song.
School bag in hand, she leaves home in the early morning, waving goodbye with an absent-minded smile. I watch her go with a surge of that well-known sadness, and I have to sit down for a while. The feeling that I'm losing her forever, and without really entering the world, I'm glad whenever I can share her laughter, that funny little girl. Slipping through my fingers all the time, I try to capture every minute, the feeling in it. Slipping through my fingers all the time. Do I really see what's in her mind? Each time I think I'm close to knowing.
I feel like I've heard this part of the chorus.
Slipping through my fingers all the time.
Okay, I gotta pause it. If anybody has TikTok, I'm pretty sure the chorus might be a TikTok song. I feel like that's where I've heard it, because nothing up until like the chorus, I hadn't heard any of that other stuff before. But the chorus, at first I was like thinking, this sounds kind of familiar. But then towards the end, I'm like, what, like 80% certain that I've actually heard the chorus before. I'm thinking it might have been a TikTok thing, because I mean TikTok kind of takes everything and turns it into a TikTok song. They're really good at that. Context: Bjorn wrote for Agneta how she missed her daughter's childhood due to ABBA's schedule. That's such a sad thing. I feel bad for artists that have to, when they go on tours, they don't get to stay with their kids. I feel like I'd want to try to convince my family to go with me, but also I realize that's not something everybody can really do or would want to do. ABBA is such a staple here in Finland too, as they are from our neighbor. We like studied it at music class, etc. That's so interesting because, I mean, I barely knew what ABBA was before this channel. Another fact, it is a big hit in TikTok. Okay, there it is. There it is. Okay, let me get back to it. I'll go back like 5 seconds.
Fingers all the time. Sleeping our eyes, her and me, at the breakfast table. Barely awake, I let precious time go by. And when she's gone, there's that odd melancholy feeling and the sense of guilt I can't deny.
Yeah, overall, I think that's a pretty good ABBA song. I don't think it's one of my favorites or anything. I partially to blame that I've heard it on TikTok a lot, so in my head it's just a TikTok song. So it's hard to like as much just due to that. But I think it sounds really good. And I'm glad that you added some clarification, Alexander, because in my head I was thinking, is this like from the perspective of a kid talking about some like friend that she has or had? But that made it a lot more clear about the daughter thing, because I wouldn't have got that. In my head, it was just like, you're in the perspective of a kid at first, and then it fades into being an adult in the middle half, and then at the very end, the outro, it kind of reflects back to being a kid again. I guess that's just another way you can look at music. There's so many different ways to interpret it without knowing the full meaning. Ratty, you are one of the only people who pronounces ABBA's names correctly. Many have difficulty pronouncing Bjorn and Agneta, and you nailed it. I'm glad that I got that right. People still try to correct me on that. So I wonder why, because I looked up how, because I did some research to make sure I was pronouncing it right, because people said I was mispronouncing it at the time when I first started. So then I looked up videos on how to pronounce their names. One of them was directly from Agneta. It was a video of her like saying how to pronounce her name. People still try to correct me on it, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure I have it right now, but I mean, who am I to say? Especially Agneta. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I was pronouncing it Agnetha for a while. I'm pretty sure in the US there's people named Agnetha instead of Agneta. My Sev is so good, for real. It's crazy how even today there's still like a big band, which is another reason that I can compare them to Kiss, because even Kiss has like songs that end up on TikTok here and there. I despise that they end up on TikTok, but at least more people are getting to hear them. Sadly, they only performed the song once, really. It's always weird to think about how bands sometimes won't perform a song at all, ever. And then, I don't know, it's just so weird to me that they hadn't performed songs more than once, but it definitely does happen. It's weird how it's cool TikTok is spreading music, but it's also memes. Yeah, exactly. It's like, the main issue is that the songs on TikTok just end up being, if they blow up, they just get replayed over and over and over and over again, nonstop. It kills me.